what is effective listening to you guys?
Hmm.
You know, how do you know the other party is being heard with what they are sharing with you? I want someone else to start that because now I want to practice my effective listening.
I would
So do you
love
see
to
the
start.
okay? Do you see his finger? You
I would love to start. um, I know that someone is listening to me when they're able to repeat things back to me. And this is something that I actually had to start doing myself because this was a huge awareness thing that I went through last year as I was trying to get my daughter to listen more. I had to realize that I actually was not that great at listening. I would think that I was listening, but in all actuality, I was not. And the reason I know that is because now that I listen better, I remember more names. I remember the conversations we had. There's a lot of things that are going on. So when I speak to someone, I guess the way that I know they're listening is first, eye contact is very important to me. If they're not able to look at me, that means they're thinking about something else, or they're thinking about what they're going to do next, or they're just not really paying attention to what I'm saying. And it's kind of the same way when someone is talking to me, I do my best to give eye contact and make sure that I let them know that I'm listening. So, with that, if you're having a good engaging conversation with someone, usually when you have that conversation, they can kind of repeat things back to you, or they'll want to repeat things back to you because they might have questions about what you're saying. And so that's kind of how you know that someone's listening in my view, because they want to ask questions. And they are able to repeat things back. And like I said, I do the same thing. So even with my daughter, I practice that with her as much as possible too, because that was something that, like I said, I had to become aware of. And so now I'm kind of able to share that with her and hopefully help her listen better too. So,
Listening, I would say listening is the best thing is people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. You know, a lot of listening is basically being able to to feel your audience, to really see understand what they're trying to say to you, what they're trying to convey to you. You know, it's just like you having a prayer and asking God to give you an answer, but all you doing is talking. God ain't hearing you because all you doing is talking. You ain't listening up your ears for Him to hear you and tell you what to do. I equate listening to the same thing. You have to shut your mouth, put the put the pause button on, and listen to what your people are having to say. Especially when you're dealing with customers. Uh, you know, who better knows what they want than them? So let them talk to you and let them tell you. And I slow to interject or to say things until they finish the conclusion of what they're saying. I know myself. Uh, it's easy to jump into a conversation and not finish fully understanding what your people are saying. So it's, you know, taking time to unwind, taking time to listen, showing that you care, and that's the big thing is that, you know, when you're listening to somebody and you want to be an effective listener, is basically making sure that people understand the transparency, that you're concerned and genuinely interested in them. When you're genuinely interested in them, then they will, as Jody was mentioning, they will interact with you. They will ask questions.
okay? Yeah, that's. I mean, I like these things that we're sharing here, and I myself, I have to work on it because when you're used to, being CEO or president, and we're all business owners here. We are all a CEO of our own businesses. Sometimes we're so accustomed to of giving directions that we forget to listen. You know, I myself am guilty of that. And just like what Nakia said, and it's true. Effective listening. It's really hard to learn something new when you're talking to someone about what you already know. So effective listening has helped me digest problems or issues at hand by writing down notes or keywords as the speaker is conveying their message to me. It shows that I'm paying attention and I care about what they're sharing with me. Now, especially when I'm speaking or when I'm having a conversation with my mentor, just like the saying goes, the lips of the wise are shut except to the ears of understanding, which simply means the teacher will appear when the student is ready. So I better be taking notes when my mentor is sharing something valuable with me, because that's mastered information that is shared, that him or her sharing with me. So that's how I've been able to really practice effective listening, is when someone is sharing something with me, and especially if I scheduled that appointment with them, and whether it's a customer or a loved one, I mean, I'll take notes just to show them like, hey, I'm listening, you know. So that's my take on effective listening.
I think a big thing is finding out what somebody's pain point is, whether it's going to be, whether they're when people talk, they want to be listened to, yes, but it's always because they have a pain point. Whatever their pain point is what they want to talk about. So I think that's what's going to be, for me, listening to find out what that pain point is, and learning how that I could possibly help them, whether it's business, whether it's just sitting and just simply just listening. Or, maybe I know somebody that can help them out, or, so for me, it's all about the focus of learning their pain points. It's all about nurturing it and growing relationships with people, as far as it's a lot like a garden. You plant a seed, you take care of it, and eventually you either get the flower or a vegetable, whichever, whatever type of plant it is, it eventually gives something pleasing back. You will, and the way I look at it, everybody has a hard time, no matter what it is. And we all have different struggles, whether it's finances, whether it's life goals. We all need to rely on each other, otherwise nobody makes it. So my outlook on listening is strictly listening for those pain points and seeing how we can bring the community together to help out.